So, may I ask Yoko Matsuda? Uh, the floor is yours. Yoko?
Yes. Could you hear me
Yes,
clearly?
yeah, we can.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yoko, and I'm connecting to this Zoom from Nagaoka, Japan, which has the most snowy area. It almost starts snowing tonight. Okay, and my topic is the exactly same as the one I showed on the IDRiM conference on September. But if I could, I can speak a little bit with more details. How many minutes do I have, Okada sensei? Ah, sorry, you're muted.
Yes, sorry. You have about 20 or 25 minutes.
20. Okay. But I don't think it takes such a long time. Okay. Hi. So thank you for having me here tonight, and let me start the presentation. So the title is also the same. It's about my very personal story or narratives. Um, mm, yes, and it's on meeting the idea of evacuation as care, and it's about whose narratives do we need. Okay, so let me start to telling you my story again. I delivered my son on May 2021. He's now 2.5 years old.
Yoko,
And
Yoko, you have already shared the slides?
oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry.
No,
Actually,
right.
I got my bed once, and I tried to get up from my bed, so I'm not really active. Let me share my
Oh, you're
screen.
already very excited.
Anyway,
Okay.
okay. So this is the title of the presentation. And again, this is my story about my son. And before having my son, I was hard. I shouldn't say hard work, but I devoted myself to research and work. But my life is totally changed because he has power at home. I have to do everything to him from when he wake up to when he goes to bed. And I want to show you. This is the picture I took now, just before entering to this PC room. So I would like to say that. Oh, sorry. So there is no sense of time turning every day, not progressing, because every night it becomes this. So I have to tidy it up every night. Otherwise, it's gonna be chaos. And there's no point pursuing efficiency. It's totally different from office work, and literally unable to live without care by else, such as of course my husband, but unfortunately he lives separately because of our job, and without nursery school or the legal system, we cannot survive. And then a new word, care, came to my mind. And and also I found so many books published, especially in Japan after the COVID-19 problem. And I picked up some books and read, and I found, and it was very interesting. I found the the statements that they say that the modern society lacking care, and also there could be alternatives filled with care. And also I found there are some features about care, which are these two. The care involves moral dilemma, and also care needs practice. Okay, let me add some explanation about there means care. The researchers who are involved to care ethics, they say the modern society is lacks of care. The people value on more on strong individuals, and there's an absence of intervention by others. And as a result, that there's a less values on dependence each other. But we can consider the alternatives to this modern society that filled with care. So this is an assumption that everyone lives in dependence on others, not only childs or kids or elderly persons, but everyone, including you, live in dependence on others. And we have, all of us have a responsibility to care about each other, and human beings have ability to do that. This is what they say, the alternatives. And they also discuss about the care features of care. And one is care involves moral dilemma, which means the facing human fragility is both rewarding but extremely exhausting at the same time. Yeah. So this is exactly the same situation that I face with. That my son is the most beloved creature in this world, but at the same time, I'm always bothered by him, and I'm really need to manage everything to attend this kind of meeting. So this is one of the dilemma. But also care has a feature that which needs practice. Care experience raise activity to endure conflicting situation or to be in uncertainty, wonder, and skepticism without seeking immediate proof or reason. So I need to practice to raise my son, and also at the same time to have my own time. There's no theory, but we need a practice, everyday practice. So I was really impressed by this discussion. But at the same time, the idea comes to my mind that, it's not only about my personal life, but also it's something about disaster policies, especially evacuation. Because before that, I've never thought about the disaster management with the concept of care, but I found that the current policies about evacuation, especially in Japan, is very careless. And where I found that is that in some governmental documents. For example, this is the rule of evacuation alerts in Japan. Now they set a alert level from 1 to 5, and 5 is the strongest evacuation order. And the number 4, the level 4, is they say evacuation instruction, and the government advised people to evacuate by alert level 4. And they said the number 3, the level 3, which is here it says the evacuation of the elderly, etc. And they said elderly people, those with disabilities, and others who may need more time to evacuate should evacuate from affected areas. So this is the standard, and they set more room or time for those who are in those who have difficulties to evacuate. That seems very fair. However, there are some questions because the government repeat many times that the people, we must protect their own lives. And again, at the same document, they said it is afraid that the residents are not fully aware of the need to protect their own lives. So this is very, if you read through, maybe you see this is very common sense. However, we can put the question that should we protect their own lives by ourselves? Really, for sure? After I read something about care. And also, there's another policies or service or challenges that the national government offers. This is about the emergency call. It's a service to alert flood risk to distance family members to call and urge their old parents to evacuate. It's nothing wrong. It's very good service, and also they offered a service called My Timeline. It's a planning instruments or framework that everyone set the personal planning for evacuation along timeline. However, when we see it from the perspective of care, all of them assumes a self-disciplined individuals as a standard evacuee. And especially, I was really wonder if this My Timeline works for whom, because for my case, my timeline is always dependent on my son. If he is ill, my timeline does not work very well. And but it's not about myself, but it's about all the people who have someone to care. Maybe they cannot figure out the timeline as a line, but it's more conditional. So what I thought was these policies only assumes these self-disciplined individuals. But and when I was asked to think about the implementation gap from Professor Kada, I thought this could be also implementation gap. What I said was like for a planner or for government officers, the evacuation is a very reasonable action. So, and also its decisions are made by individuals, individual intention. However, for those who evacuate, or maybe for ordinary people, evacuation could be not only an individual action, but also it has an aspect of care, which means response to others, or response to others who wants to survive. So the goal is to be saved or survived, since not able to survive on its own. But for planner, the goal is to reduce the total amount of causalities as much as possible. And that's why they assume a person who thinks one must protect his or her own life. But for evacuee, for people, maybe the evacuation is based on the assumption that no one can protect his or her own life solely by him or herself. Yeah, I don't want to say this is a dichotomy, but I want to say that the evacuation has the both aspects, but for now we only or we tend to observe this side only, and as a result, this side is rather neglected. Oh yeah, I want to say that. And this is the final slide. And when we think about the idea of evacuation as care, I said that the Japanese policies are not really full of care, and but at the local level, I would say the many people tried to challenge or try to observe the evacuation problem as care, and for that process, I would say, we can think about the evacuation problem as care through these kind of statements. And it is important to collect narratives to validate the implementation gap. However, not just anyone's voice can be used. And when collecting narratives, regarding evacuation programs, to focus on implementation gap, researchers or planners should try to understand the situation of those who have the most difficult problems, not the majority. But we need to listen to more from who have the most difficult problems, and as a result, the researchers or planners will collect voices from those who are most vulnerable. This is in contrast to evidence-based policies, which present the majority voice as a kind of statistical process. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. I hope you understand.